Welcome to Informed Investor. The debate between buy versus rent and used car versus an old car is never ending. And today we're diving into one part of it. We're asking viewers to tell us what they would choose if they had to buy a new car or an old car. Let's find out what they say. If you were to buy any car, a used car or an old car, with the financial implication of it, what would you choose?
I would rather go for a new car. For me, it's all over durability. If I go for a second-hand car, of course, the durability will be very less, and coming part of the services and all everything. So it's better for me to go for a new car. Yeah, finances are there. Yes, if I have 5 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees other budget, I'll go for a car like in Maruti Suzuki, somewhere like an Alto or i10.
It depends also on the financial conditions of each and every aspects. But if you look at the depreciation value of the new cars, like as you said, new cars has a 20% more depreciation value over the years. Like the first 3 years, it depreciates by 20%. So rather than me going for the new car, and like also considering the few aspects like where the insurance is quite higher than the old car, and also the maintenance. Yeah, maintenance wise, I can say the new car is pretty good. But if it's been maintained really well by a first owner and like going for the second hand car, I don't think so. Like you should just go for the first hand because the depreciation value over there is much higher than what we actually when we just buy the new cars.
So, irrespective of financial aspects, if I'm going to buy a car, I would obviously choose a new one. So, yeah.
And a new one for the reason being?
Yeah, reason being, if I'm buying a new car, like, so basically it is like a feeling more than, just the, factors of buying it. It's not just about the use, it's about, the feeling, going there. It's a, intangible feeling that I feel from inside, that feeling of, a new car being taken from the showroom to
So it's
myself.
more of an emotional
Yeah, kind of
decision for you.
emotional and a hands-on experience on the first side. So that is something which I would like to see.
I would go for a used car.
Used car.
Yeah.
And why?
Because if you can buy an i10 for 10 lakhs, I could rather go for a Polo GT for 10 lakhs, which is 2 years older. So, I can get a sports performance, everything better.
But then again, the maintenance issue comes into the picture. You don't know the history of the car.
But there is a lot of good options right now. For example, there's Spinny, there's Cars 24, good options, certified cars. You can pick it up.
I would probably go for a used car because I have not yet learned how to drive. So to skip the accidents and all of that, I would probably start off with a second-hand car, and then probably after some years I would choose a new car. Because again, financially, right now, for me to go about with a new car and it adding on to the EMIs that I have, that will be a burden, I feel. In the same price where I can get
So
a
you
used
choose a
car.
second-hand car.
Yeah.
So you'd go for a
New car. New car is an experience altogether. I do not want second-hand experience. The smell of a new car, the amazing experience of a new car, which I get for first 2 years, I will not compromise. I'm ready to pay that extra amount.
So what would you choose if you had to buy between a new car or a second-hand car?
So basically, I'm currently using a old car already, which I took 3 years back. So I taken it 4 lakhs itself because I was new, like I didn't knew at that time that how to drive. So basically, for the learning purpose, I took it. I'm driving it from last 3 years currently, and it's more than 3 years, and it's like I think the performance is good till now, but I think it needs a bit of improvement because in every month I have to go for a servicing. So currently I want to take a new car. So I'm planning to buy a new car itself rather than the old one because I could see that like this gave a good performance for 2.5 years and 3 years. And right now I think that every month I have to go to service. So if I'm buying a new car currently, the prices will be more, but if I see in a longer term, like 5 to 7 years, I can use it efficiently. So that is the main reason that.
So the running costs are
Correct. The
significantly
mileage
higher.
is also less currently, and if I see monthly basis, I have to spend some 4,000, 5,000 on the old car. Which if I'm buying a new car, at least from 2 to 3 years, the servicing, everything will be there, and it will be in a good running condition, so that won't be required.
So you go for a new car.
Yes.
I would choose second-hand car as per my current situations, or particularly if I say about the asset building part, right? So since I'm currently a new age person, and since I find that kind of a new car can be a kind of a depreciating asset. So in that condition, if I say old car will be better, why? Because we will get a good value in resale also, and it will suffice my needs of using a car.
I would rather go with a old car
Okay.
because it will be in my budget, so that it also allows me to stay in my budget, and also I can spend along with other needs as well.
And any other reason for you choosing a used car?
Old
Any
cars.
pros or cons? Pros?
It's always, I consider it as a pros itself. So if I go with a Mercedes, there are so many other cars, used cars itself here. So it allows me in my budget. So that's the only.
So the cost is the only element you'll
Yes,
be
yes,
looking
I'll be only looking for that because
Yeah.
it's also flexible for me to stay in my limits, no? So it in my budget. That's the one.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Welcome back to another insightful session with Informed Investor. So, buying a car is a significant milestone for many Indians. It's often a dream, a symbol of progress, and a necessity for modern living. However, the decision between a new car and a used car can be a daunting one. While the allure of a brand new vehicle, fresh off the assembly line, is undeniable, the practical benefits of a used car cannot be ignored. In this video, we will delve into the pros and cons of both options. In fact, we'll also jump into some calculations and break down the cost aspect, helping you make an informed decision that aligns with your budget, lifestyle, and long-term goals. Let's begin. You're watching Informed Investor, an initiative by Equentis. Now, to start off, buying a car is a big decision and an expensive one. However, the number of first-time buyers has surged over the past decade thanks to rising per capita income, simple car buying processes, and a wide range of car loan options. But once someone decides to buy a car, they face several questions. Firstly, which category to choose? Hatchback, SUV, or sedan? Then comes the troubles of choosing a car that suits your needs from the available options from different car makers. Then comes, should I buy petrol or diesel? And now we even have an option of hybrid and EV cars. Then lastly comes the big question. Should I consider buying a used car or go ahead with a new car? Now, in financial sense, the value of a car depreciates over time, so it is not an investment. Hence, you have to be careful about its cost effectiveness. But wait, before we get there and go through some calculations, let's quickly summarize the advantages and disadvantages of buying a new car and a used car. Let's start with the new car. Now, let's discuss the advantages of a new car. Firstly, new cars come equipped with the most recent advancements in automotive technology, such as advanced driver assistance systems, infotainment systems, fuel-efficient engines, safety features, making the driving experience much more beautiful. Secondly, manufacturers offer comprehensive warranties that cover a wide range of components and systems, providing peace of mind for a specific period. Some manufacturers even offer extended warranties at reasonable prices, securing your car up to 7 years in some cases. Then, most importantly, driving a brand new car offers a sense of security as you know the vehicle's history and that it has been maintained meticulously. Moreover, it creates a kind of status symbol of buying a new car from the showroom. In certain segments and markets, new cars can hold their value relatively well, especially premium brands and popular models. Lastly, in terms of loan, you will be sanctioned almost 90 to 95% of the loan, and more importantly, with an interest rate of around the 8 to 9% mark currently. Now, what could be the cons of a new car? One of the biggest drawbacks of a new car is rapid depreciation. As soon as you drive a new car off the lot, the value starts to decline. And guess what? The minute you take the car out of the showroom, there is an instant 5% drop in the value of the car, and with each passing year depreciation, the value starts to decline. And simply, the upfront cost of a new car is significantly higher compared to a used car. Additionally, registration fees and additional charges will add up to the on-road price. Insurance premiums for new cars tend to be higher due to the higher value of the car and the risk of theft. The IDV, or rather insured declared value, will be higher for a new car than an old car. Hence, the premium outgo for insurance will be much higher. Now, let's discuss the practicality of used cars. Let's start with the advantages. Without a doubt, used cars are significantly more affordable than new cars, making them accessible to a wider range of buyers. Insurance premiums for used cars are generally lower due to the lower value. Since the value of the car depreciates over the years, the premium paid also will be lower in the following years. The used car market offers a vast array of choices, including different models, brands, catering up to different age groups. In fact, even manufacturers have their dedicated pre-owned cars platform providing second-hand cars. Now, what could be the cons of a used car? Firstly, the history of a used car may be uncertain. especially if it has changed several hands and has had multiple owners. Older used cars may require more frequent repairs and maintenance, leading up to higher costs, which can add up over time and become more expensive. Used cars often have limited or no warranty coverage, leaving you responsible for repair costs. Used cars may have outdated technology and features compared to newer models. Lastly, in terms of loan, you will be sanctioned only 70 to 75% of the loan, and more importantly, with a higher interest rate of around 13 to 14%. Okay, now enough of this. We have looked at the pros and cons of buying an old car versus a new car. Let's crunch some numbers to understand which is more cost effective. Let's take a practical example to understand the financial implications of buying a new car versus an old car. Meet Anup, a 30-year-old individual who is planning to buy a car. He has saved rupees 3 lakh for a down payment and is considering taking out a loan for the remaining amount. If Anup buys a new car worth rupees 9 lakhs, he will pay 3 lakhs upfront, leaving him with a loan of 6 lakh at a 9% annual interest rate for 5 years. This will result in an EMI of rupees 12,455 per month. Hence, the total amount payable to the bank in 5 years, which includes the principal payment plus interest, would amount to 7,47,302 rupees. In addition, he will incur one-time cost of 50,000 for registration, taxes and other fees. This could vary from state to state, but to simplify the calculations, we have taken it as 50,000. Therefore, the total cost of just buying a new car amounts to 10.97 lakhs. Now, when buying a new car, the purchase price is just the beginning. To get a clear idea of how much owning and running the car will actually cost you over time, we will need to consider several other factors like fuel, insurance, maintenance and more. Let's break this down step by step, assuming Anup has bought a new car and is planning to keep it for 5 years. The cost of fuel depends on how much you drive it and how efficient your car is. Assuming a mileage of fuel efficiency of 15 kilometers per liter and a commute of 800 kilometers a month, the yearly fuel cost would amount to 64,000. Hence, for 5 years, the total fuel bill would amount to 3.2 lakh rupees. And that's not it. Then comes maintenance costs and insurance costs. Assuming manufacturers give the first few services free, over the period of 5 years, we have taken the maintenance cost of 55,000 rupees. Moreover, a new car generally requires less frequent repairs and lesser maintenance. Then comes insurance charges. Since the car is new and the insured declared value is higher, the insurance premium outgo is more, and hence we have taken an amount of 80,000 over the 5 years. With 10,000 as miscellaneous costs for tolls, car cleaning, etc., the total amounts to 4,65,000 rupees. However, at the end of 5 years, let's assume that he would be able to sell the car at 50% of the buying price, that is 4.5 lakhs. However, its inflation adjusted value after 5 years would be rupees 3.36 lakh rupees. Accordingly, the total cost breakdown of buying, running and maintaining a new car for 5 years would be 12,26,035 rupees. Okay, now let's shift gears and understand the calculations for an old car. Arvind is eyeing a 5-year-old used car with an original price tag of 9 lakh rupees. Since cars are depreciating assets, the value of the car has already dropped 50% over the past 5 years. That means instead of paying rupees 9 lakhs for a new car, Arvind can grab the same car for just 4.5 lakh rupees. Since Arvind has already saved for the down payment, he only needs to take a loan of 3.5 lakh rupees for the used car. However, used car loans generally come with a higher interest rate, typically around 14 to 15%. In Arvind's case, we assume an interest rate of 14.5% per annum, which means his monthly EMI would be approximately 8,235 rupees. Talking about fuel costs, it tends to be higher due to the lower mileage. Let's assume Arvind's 5-year-old car gives 11 kilometers per liter with a monthly commute of 800 kilometers that adds up to 48,000 kilometers over the 5 years. And at 100 rupees per liter, the fuel cost comes to about 4.36 lakh over the 5 years. Now let's quickly jump into the cost of running and maintaining an old car. The maintenance costs for an old car are typically higher than those for a new one. In the first year, Arvind will spend around 20,000 on maintenance. However, these costs rise 10% annually, which means by the end of 5 years, the total maintenance expenses will reach about 1.2 lakh rupees. The price of insurance for this component is smaller since the IDV of second-hand cars is low. This would amount to rupees 70,000 over 5 years as the IDV value decreases over time. If Arvind buys the used car, he'll face miscellaneous expenses of rupees 20,000 over 5 years, assuming additional charges due to the age of the vehicle. However, the used car's resale value is estimated at 1.5 lakh rupees, which reduces its overall cost. However, its inflation adjusted value after 5 years would be around 1.12 lakhs. Hence, the total cost of the car for a tenure of 5 years would come down as 11.28 lakh rupees. Now, to summarize and look at the cost aspect alone, the 5-year-old used car over a brand new one can potentially lead to savings of around 97,629 rupees. But in the end, both new and used car have their own advantages, and your choice will depend on what you value the most. Whether it's the latest technology, peace of mind, and lower maintenance cost of a new car, or the upfront affordability, low depreciation, and practicality of a used car. We've seen plenty of arguments about rent versus buy or new versus used cars. But at the heart of it, buying a car is often an emotional choice. Whether it's the fresh smell of a new vehicle, the joy of customizing it, or the satisfaction of getting a good deal on a pre-owned car, your car should resonate with your lifestyle, budget, and dreams. So take your time, weigh the options, and choose a car that feels right for you. Now, having said that, this is me, Rahul Hassan, signing off. Have a great day and stay safe.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.